Ah, we're on our last day of Doctor Who week. It's a great day, full of stuff that I can't show you because I don't feel like doing a crummy clip show. But we're gonna wrap up, and we're going to do a big finish, a classic story, and you already know it, Love and Monsters as our new story. But let's go with our big finish for the day. Spare Parts. Spare Parts is important for a few reasons. One, it acts as a prequel story to the 10th Planet, which is the first Cybermen story. And also, it's what was used as the basis for the return of the Cybermen in the new series, Rise of the Cybermen and Age of Steel. I'm not going to review those, but I have to say this, Spare Parts is actually fairly superior. Because it's not trying to juggle making making another side character who is making a fairly known recurring character important in the end. This was focused on the Doctor, Nyssa, and the slowly upgraded yet devolving in a way Mondasians. See, the thing about this one I love is the fact that you know the outcome in the end. It's kind of like that's the weakness of a prequel. And the joke about prequels. We know how it ends. That's the thing. I mean, I'm constantly making jokes that before Watchmen's going to end with the book Watchmen. Or even funnier, they end it by saying, well, see what happens after this. Check out this book. This new hip book that all the kids are reading. Spare Parts does that amazingly because it focuses on a few people. It focuses on day-to-day people, and it focuses on the people higher up. And you slowly see the downfall and how these people are basically sacrificing their souls so their shells can live on. That's the thing I love about the Cybermen in general. That at least in the beginning, their basic idea was to escape death. Or at least survive, in their case. Hell, that's even kind of the idea of Age of Steel, which it plays with, but again, I think it does even better here because the performances, that's the thing. The story has its nice little twist, but in the end you know how it all has to go and it could be looked at as a thing that diffuses it or helps it. But we know that these people are eventually going to become the Cybermen, and we know that Nyssa and the Doctor are going to be okay because with Big Finish kind of trying their best to take place within the confines of the TV show, we know they're going to survive after this story because, well, we see them survive. It doesn't mean the tension's any worse. And not to mention the fact that the more and more they stay here, they start to feel bad, and they want to change it. But the thing is, you can't interrupt it. You can't change history. And that's what I like. That it's kind of like what Waters of Mars did, except, it didn't have the Doctor mad with power at the end. Especially since you gotta realize, the Cybermen were responsible for killing one of his companions, Adric. Okay, fine. That part's not a real... Anyone who knows Adric may not be really heartbroken by that. It's kind of like saying, those are the bastards that killed Wesley Crusher. Let's get them a beer. But still, to the Doctor it means something, and that's the important part. And it's brought up. But in the back of his mind, you know that he can't. Doing this would unfold and interrupt not only his own personal history, but the history of the universe. He has to mind the rules. And another thing about this is they managed to somehow amp up the terror of these guys with just being audio only. Not only did they do a damn good job of replicating the way their voices sound in the 10th Planet, which, try and find a clip if you can, it doesn't sound like it does either later on in the classic series or in the new show, even though Nick Briggs does the voices, but it's still haunting. It just sounds, with the robotic idea, that's what I think works. The fact that these people can't be saved. Mondas will soon be lost. and you just want to see these people kind of have to, in some ways, accept it. You know, our main characters and the side characters, and that's what I think works. Not to mention, I just love the idea of what they did with Mondas. They had it act somewhat like a, I don't know how you would say it. It came off a lot like a 50s world, but with these random leaps in technology. Not like it's a bad thing. Stuff like they mentioned horses. They replaced horses' legs with robotic implants and all that. The fact that it's kind of like a weird mishmash of a past and an advanced future in it. I love that. It kind of gives you this cool imaginative way of looking at it. And again, Peter Davison, and even Sarah Sutton. Yes, Sarah Sutton, who played Nyssa. This was roughly after Time Flight. This is between Time Flight and Arc of Infinity. For any of the people who want to know. Their performances are great. So good that you ignore the fact that Davison sounds the same. Sutton's voice is really deeper, but she was really young back then. I think she was close to her 20s. She had a very young voice. And again, I forgive that because age and who cares? They're cool enough to do this, so why bother? And I just loved everyone, even the side cast, like the workers they meet, the president who's controlling it all, even Nick Briggs's all the Cybermen voices. Everything's perfect. This is definitely with a high. This is one I recommend if you want to try out Big Finish. This one's $10. Download. Just go there, get it. This is one of the ones I highly recommend. Out of all the stories I've been doing this week, I think it's pretty damn good. It's definitely up there with some of the best modern stuff and classic stuff.